Good morning, student. Welcome to the fourth lecture of unit number 4. In the last lecture, we have discussed about the progress bar. In today's lecture, we are going to talk about list view, grid view, and image view. So let's start with the list view. So whenever you have your mobile phone, let's say if you open your application, for example, contacts, we can say we have lots of contacts and all those contacts are in a format of list view. So if you use a recent call logs, it is again in list view. So list view is a view which groups several items and display them in a vertical scrollable list. So the list items are automatically inserted to the list using an adapter that pulls content from a source such as an array or database. It means that in the list view, first we have to learn about what is array adapter and what is database adapter. So after discussing about list view, after discussing basic concept about list view, we are going to discuss about what is array adapter and database adapter. So basically, an adapter actually bridge between UI components and the data source that fill data into UI components. So adapter holds data and send the data to adapter view. So the view can take the data from adapter view and show the data on different views like as spinner, list view, grid view, etc. It means that the list view and grid view are subclasses of adapter view and they can be populated by binding them to an adapter which retrieves data from an external sources and creates a view that represents each data entry. So Android provides several subclasses of adapter that are useful for retrieving different kinds of data and building views for an adapter view. For example, list view or grid view. So the common adapters are array adapter, base adapter, cursor adapter, simple cursor adapter, spinner adapter, and wrapper list adapter. Okay, so we will see separate examples for both the adapters. But before that, let's talk about the some common attributes related to the list view. So the very first attribute is ID. That means this is the ID which uniquely identifies the layout. So using this property, we have to assign unique identity to list view or grid view. Then the next property is Android divider property. So this is drawable or color to draw between list items. It means that we use divider when we want to divide elements in a list by using color or by using some drawable lines to separate the elements in list items. So whenever we want to separate list items, that time we are going to use Android divider property. Then the third property is divider height. So this specifies height of the divider. This could be in pixel, dp, sp, in or mm. So it specifies the height of divider, how much height you want in your list view. Then Android entries specifies the reference to an array resource that will populate the list view. After that, Android footer dividers enabled. When set to false, the list view will not draw the divider before each footer view. The default value is true. So footer divider enabled, it means that if it is true, then footer and list will get separated. Okay. if footer divider enabled is set to true, it means that the footer and list view will get separated. But if false, then it is not going to draw divider line between footer and the list view. Likewise, we have header dividers enabled. It means that if headers divider enabled is true, then header and list view will get separated. And if it is set to false, it means that it is not going to draw a divider line between header and list view. Okay, so when we want to divide footer and list view, that time we have to set footer divider enable property true, and when we want to divide header and list view, that time we have to set header divider enable property as a true, and if not, that time we should set this property to false. So these are the common attributes related to list view. After that, adapters. Now adapters bridge between UI components and data source that fill data into UI components. So basically adapters are used for inserting items into list view. Adapters are used for the elements entry. For entering the elements, we use adapters. So what is array adapter? So you can use this adapter when your data source is an array. Okay, so array adapter is used only when your data source is array. By default, array adapter creates a view for each array atom by calling toString function on each item and placing the contents in a text view. So consider you have an array of string and you want to display in a list view. For that, initialize a new array adapter. Okay, look here. Initialize a new array adapter using a constructor to specify the layout for each string and the string array. Okay, so the syntax for this is that array adapter equals to new array adapters. It means that here we are here we are creating a new object. Then here we are using string function and constructor. In the constructor, we are going to pass the layout and string array. So once you have array adapter created, then simply call set adapter function on your list view object as follow. So once array adapter created, we have to call set adapter function. So list view is equals to find view by ID, and here inside the set adapter function we have to pass the adapter which we have created here. Okay, so here are arguments for this constructor. First argument, this. So this is first argument. So this is the first argument. Is the application context, and most of the case keep it this only. Then second argument will be layout defined in XML file and having text view for each string in the array. And last one is the final argument is an array of string which will be populated in the text view. So once we have array adapter, then simply call the set adapter function on list view object. Okay, as follows. After that, let's discuss about how to implement list view in Android Studio. Okay, so for that, first you have to open your Android Studio, go to create new project, select empty project activity, and after that go to application folder. After that go to layout folder, and inside layout you got this list item. Just drag and drop list item into your design, and after that open XML file. Okay, so First, let's start with the java.main file. Okay, first in this example, first we will discuss about the main activity.java file, which is your main file, and I have named that file as a list display.java. Okay, so in this file we have created array adapter, and we have passed first constructor, that is this, then r.layout activity underscore list view. This is second argument. It means that the layout defined in XML file. So I have defined in XML file layout as a activity underscore list view, and after that final argument is mobile array. Here we have seen the syntax. We have to pass three arguments. First one is this, second one is r layout, and third one is string array. Okay, so here I have passed mobile array as a third argument. Okay, and then we have to use set adapter function here, and inside this set adapter we have to pass the adapter that we have created over here. So this is about the your main activity.java file, and now let's discuss about the main.xml file. So here in main.xml file, I have created one list view. The ID assigned to that list view is mobile underscore list. So when you drag and drop your list view in your design, after that go to properties, open ID property, and name that ID as a mobile underscore list. And after doing this, when you open your XML file, your ID will be assigned to your list view like this. Okay, so mobile underscore list is unique identity assigned to list view. Okay, after that, here we have completed with our list view. So here we have passed the mobile array as a third argument to the constructor. So what is mobile array? Here we have defined the mobile array. Mobile array contains Android, iPhone, Windows Mobile, BlackBerry, WebOS, Ubuntu, Windows 7, Mac OS, and so on. Okay, so this string we have passed here. It means that in our list view, we are going to display output like this. Okay, so inside my application, I have all these items in a list view, which I have passed over here to set adapter function. Set adapter function. Okay, we have passed adapter, and this adapter is created over here. And now this is the string.xml file. In string.xml file, you can define the name of your application, that is list display. So this is about the list view. Okay, so first we have seen what is list view, then the common attributes related to the list view. After that, what is array adapter? Array adapter bridges between the UI components and the data source that fill data into UI components. And basically adapters are used for inserting items into the list. Okay, and adapters are also used in grid view for inserting items into the grid view. So this is the syntax for the array adapter. After that, this is your main.activity.java file. I have named that file as a list display.java file. After that, your main.xml file, string file, and this is output. Okay, now let's talk about the grid view. Now, as we know that list view comes from the adapter itself. Similar is a case with the grid view. As we know that grid is a two-dimensional scrolling grid. To insert the element into the grid view, you also need the adapter itself. The adapter actually helps you to add elements in a grid view. And the best thing about grid view is that it's having element in both rows and columns, making it easy to adapt more elements. So grid view shows atoms in two-dimensional scrolling grids, that means rows and columns. And grid items are not necessarily predetermined, but they automatically inserted to the layout using a list adapter. Okay, it means that in grid view, rows and columns are not predetermined. It means that the grid items are not predetermined, but they automatically inserted into the layout by using a list adapter. After that, and adapters, we know that adapters actually bridge between UI components and the data source that fill data into UI components. Also, adapters can be used to supply data to like spinner, list view, grid view, etc. So the list view and grid view are subclasses of adapter view, and they can be populated by binding them to an adapter, which retrieves data from an external source and create a view that represents each data entry. Okay, so we have talked about this in list view also, and now we have revised it. So now let's talk about the grid view attributes. So these are some important attributes related to the grid view. So very first attribute being is the Android ID. Again, this is the ID which uniquely identifies the layout. Then second attribute is Android column width. This specifies the fixed width for each column. This could be in pixel, dp, sp, in or mm. It means that column width defines what should be the width of all columns present in your grid. And you can define that width in pixel, in dp or sp or in mm also. After that, Android gravity, which it specifies the gravity within each cell. It means that where the elements or where the cell should be placed. It means that gravity, and the possible values for this gravity are top, bottom, left, right, center, center vertical, and center horizontal. Okay, so basically gravity means where the elements or where the cell should be placed, whether it should be placed at top or bottom or left or right. Then Android horizontal spacing defines the default horizontal spacing between columns. This could be also in pixel, dp, sp, in or mm. Okay, so likewise, horizontal spacing is used to define the spacing between two columns of grid view. After that, Android num columns. So defines how many columns to show, maybe an integer value such as 100, or autofit, which means display as many columns as possible to fill the available space. So num columns means this attribute of grid view will be used to decide the number of columns data to be displayed in grid. For example, if you want to display 100 columns in your grid view, then you can define it as an integer like 100. And if you used autofit property in num column, it means that it will display as many columns as possible to fill the available space which is available in your grid view. Then the next property is stretch mode, defines how many columns should be stretched to fill the available empty space if any. It means that if there is any empty space available in the cell, means which column actually utilize that space. So this must be either of the values, like none means stretching is disabled. Spacing width, the spacing between each column is stretched. Column width, that means each column is stretched equally. And spacing width uniform, it means that the spacing between each column is uniformly stretched. And the last property is that Android vertical spacing. So defines the default vertical spacing between rows. This could be in pixel, dp, sp, in or mm. It means that this attribute is used to specify the spacing between two rows of grid view. Likewise, horizontal spacing. Okay, so these are the some common attributes related to grid view. Now let's talk about how to implement or how to add a grid view in your mobile application. So first starts with the activity underscore main.xml file. Now you know that how to reach that main.xml file. First open your Android Studio, go to your app folder, then go to your layout folder, and after going to layout folder, just drag and drop grid view in your design, and after that open your main.xml file. Okay, so after opening main.xml file, you will get coding related to your design. So this is the unique ID assigned to grid view. Again, when you drag and drop grid view in your design, click on that grid view and go to property. In the property, select ID and assign ID as grid view. Okay, so after doing this, when you open your XML file, you will get ID assigned like this. Then Android layout width and layout height as a field parent. Then I have set column width as 90 dp. Okay, so as here we have column numbers, we have column width. Okay, so it means that we can assign column width as we want, and if we can use auto fit also. Okay, so here I have used column width 90 dp. It means that the width of column in complete grid view will be 90 dp, not less than or not greater than 90 dp. Okay, so you can also set it as a auto fit, which could adjust number of columns automatically and giving the best possible result. After this is auto fit, and after this we are having vertical spacing, horizontal spacing. Here I have assigned vertical spacing and horizontal spacing as 10 dp, and after this we are having stretch mode. So stretch mode equals to column width. So the stretch mode is used for unoccupied space left on the screen. And the last is that Android gravity. It means that I want my cell to be appeared at the center of the grid view. That is Android gravity. And Android gravity has the values like top, bottom, left, right, center, and so on. Okay, so I have assigned the value as center. It means that my cells should be appeared at the center of the grid view. So this is about your activity underscore main.xml file. After that, this is your main activity.java file. Now here in this example, we are going to use images. That means we are going to put images in a grid view. For that, I have created image view dot set layout, new grid view that dot layout. Here I have created one grid view and r.drawable.sample underscore 2. It means that your image is stored in a drawable folder which is available in the resource folder. Okay, so before displaying your all images in your grid view, all images must be stored in your drawable folder. Okay, now about this drawable folder, we are discussing unit number 2 in the Android project structure. So when you go to the app folder, inside app folder you have resources, and inside the resources you have drawable folder. Okay, so all the images that you want to display in your grid view, first you have to store that all images into your drawable folder. Okay, so I have all these images in my drawable folder, so I have just used that images and I have assigned all these images here inside the image view. And after doing this, my output will be look like this. So these all are the images that are stored in my drawable folder inside the resource. So basically grid view is quite similar to a list view. The only difference is that list view display elements in the vertical order and grid view divides screen into parallel parts which can be used to display the text as per our convenience. This is the only difference between grid view and the list view. Okay, so this is about the grid view. So in today's lecture, we have discussed about the list view and grid view. Now in the next lecture, we are going to discuss about what is image view, what is scroll view, and how to pick date and time in mobile application.